So today we'll discuss the RTP November 2020 attempt. RTP of November 2020 attempt. We will be discussing the first MCQ today, case-based MCQ, the first one, question 1 to 5. So it is based on this below case study. So we will discuss this today. ओके इतना बड़ा पैराग्राफ दिया है तो पहले हम क्या करते हैं, बेस्ड ऑन अ सिंपल डायग्राम इसको समझते हैं, फ्लो चार्ट से समझते हैं, एंड देन वी विल रीड द क्वेश्चन एंड वी विल ट्राई टू सॉल्व द एमसीक्यू. तो इन्होंने क्या दिया है, व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन. दे से देयर इज वन स्टार कार्ट लिमिटेड विच इज रजिस्टर्ड इन दिल्ली. दे हैव अ वेब पोर्टल. थ्रू दिस वेब पोर्टल they are selling their own goods as well as they are selling goods of other people. That is, they are listing the goods of other people and they are selling it on their website, meaning they are a electronic commerce operator. They are a ECO in their own as well as ECO services to others. They are providing ECO services to others by way of listing. This is the situation. Next, two people, one from Uttar Pradesh and the other from Gujarat. Infocom Limited Uttar Pradesh, Secure World Gujarat. Two people have availed the listing services for which Sanskart Limited is charging a 10% of turnover of goods sold. Whatever the turnover, they are charging 10% of that as their listing fee. Listing fee. Okay. So now two issues arise here. First thing, place of supply of goods and place of supply of service. So goods is simple, section 10. Based on this, it will be destination because it involves movement, because they are going to directly ship it to the customer's place. Now they are providing place of provision of service. We have to determine the place of provision of service, that is under section 12. And now I hope you recollect, under section 12 they have given various scenarios. 12.2 was general and the others 12.3 onwards, yes, it was specific. Now I am telling you that this listing service is not covered in any of the specific thing, so it will come under the general one. Do you remember what was mentioned in section 12.2? I hope you recollect. If you don't recollect, I have given it here. Section 12.2, if the supplier is registered, yes, if the supplier is registered, it will be location of the recipient, that is the supplier. If the recipients are unregistered, yes, here the recipient is registered, location of recipient. If recipient is unregistered, then if you have the address on record, yes, if you have the address of the recipient, then address on record, that will be the place of supply, and if no address on record, then location of supplier. Simple. This was the simple principle mentioned in section 12.2. Now in our case, we know that both our service receivers, one from UP and one from Gujarat, are registered. It is given in the question that both of them are registered. Okay, so it becomes very easy to determine the place of supply. So it will be UP and it will be Gujarat. Supplier is from Delhi, place of supply is in UP, so IGST will become payable. Yes, IGST will become payable in this case. Now what they are mentioning next, they are mentioning something regarding returns. They say if customers return the goods, they will charge 20% fee from the customer. 20% of what? They said 20% of turnover, yes, from the customer, and in addition they will also charge from sellers 10%. This is the handling charges, because they have to take the goods, return and give it back to the seller, so they are charging some handling charges of 10%. Again, this is 10% of turnover. Okay, they have given this. Additionally, what they have given in the question, that if any order is received by SansCart, order will be received by SansCart, payment will be collected by SansCart. On the basis of order received, invoice is given directly by the seller and goods are directly shipped by the seller. So SansCart is not handling the shipping. Directly goods are sold by the shipped by the seller. Now one more thing you have to remember. There is one section 52. 52 is regarding TCS, and I hope you remember, if in electronic commerce operator, if it is selling the goods of a third person, then they are liable to deduct TCS. In other way, if the supplier is selling goods on a third party website, the third party is liable to collect tax at source. So we have to keep in mind the provisions of section 52 also. And what did we study in section 52? It is 1%. 1% of what? Taxable value of supply. So taxable value of supply, of that 1%, SansCart has to collect TCS and remit the balance to the supplier. I hope you have understood this. Okay. Now what we will do, we will read the question that is given by ICAI. We will read the question and we will try to answer each of the sub questions. Okay. Now let us read the question and answer the MCQs one by one. So StartCart Limited, as already discussed, web portal. Name of the web portal, StartCart. It is registered in Delhi and it is liable to collect tax at source under section 52. I have discussed with you. It provides listing services to various sellers for selling goods to ultimate customers. We have discussed. Besides, they also sell own products through the same web portal. They are also selling their own products to the same web portal. Now, for listing, they charge a listing fee of 10% of turnover of goods. Listing fee is recovered from the seller irrespective of return of the goods. Very important. See, even if the goods are returned, they will charge 10% listing fee even if the goods are returned. Okay. The customer can choose from a wide range of products that are listed on the website and place an order online for the goods. Payment is made by the customer through the payment gateway only in online mode. This payment is collected by StartCart. And monthly settlement. StartCart makes the payment to the sellers after adjusting TCS and applicable tax rates. I have already discussed with you 1% TCS. Now, as I already discussed with you, invoice is issued by the seller in the name of customers based on the location of the seller and the customer. So now here POS, yes, place of supply will be determined based on the location of supplier and location of customer. Supplier and customer. So there is nothing to do with StartCart here. Where is the supplier located and where is the customer located? Based on that we will determine the place of supply. We will see what they are giving the details. Goods are shipped directly by the seller. As I already told you, directly shipped by seller to the customer, and there is no responsibility of shipping of the goods on StartCart for the third party sellers. Returns. See, it charges 20% of the value of goods as cancellation charges and refund balance amount to the customer. 10% of value of goods is collected from the seller by SansCart as handling charges for the returned goods. Already discussed. Now, let us read the actual situation what they have given and let us try to answer the question one by one. So, the first situation what they have given. Pulkit, a resident of Rajasthan. So, the customer is from Rajasthan. He is purchasing the following goods from StartCart. What are the goods he is purchasing from StartCart? First, he is purchasing a laptop of 50,000 and a printer of 10,000. Laptop, printer. Both the products are sold by Infocom Limited. Yes, our seller is in Uttar Pradesh. So what is happening here? Location of supplier is in Uttar Pradesh, UP, and location of recipient is Rajasthan. What will be the place of supply? Place of supply will be determined as per section 10, and there is movement of goods. So it will be the location of recipient. So Rajasthan. So here also IGST is chargeable. First. Next situation. 2. Mobile phone of 30,000 having value of 30,000 sold by Start Cart in its own capacity. Now again here also IGST will be chargeable. How? Start Cart is in Delhi, customer is in Rajasthan, it involves movement. So where does the movement terminate? Rajasthan. So again it will be interstate supply and IGST will be chargeable. CCTV camera, value 1 lakh, sold by Secure World, listed on Start Cart, registered under GST in the state of Gujarat. Again what will be chargeable here? Again IGST will be chargeable based on the same principles what I have discussed. Okay, all the above transactions are exclusive of GST wherever applicable. They say wherever applicable. There is no input tax credit in the balance on 1st January of Start Cart, Infocom and Secure. So ITC is 0. Opening balance is 0. GST applicable, they say 9% SGST, 9% CGST and IGST will be 18%. Based on the scenarios we have to select CGST, SGST or IGST. Now they have given us the case study. We have noted down all the points. Now let us answer one by one. First question, what they say? Net tax liability of Start Cart Limited for the month of January. So they are asking the tax liability of Start Cart. We know ITC is 0. Now let us analyze one by one what Start Cart has done during the month of January and let us answer the question. I have already mentioned in my summary. So based on the summary, let us try to understand. See, now Start Cart itself as the supplier of goods. You remember in point B, we saw Start Cart sold a mobile phone to Pulkit directly of Rajasthan. So 30,000 into 18%, 5,400. So first things what Start Cart is done, 5,400. Next, it has also provided services. What service? Listing of vendors. So it has collected listing fee. What did we study? Listing fee will be, what did we read? Listing fee is 10% of turnover. Now what was the turnover? Let us go back to the question and see the turnover. See, based on this, here it is. Laptop of 50,000, printer of 10,000. So Infocom Limited turnover is 60,000. We are not supposed to consider any returns and they have not given anything about returns. So let us ignore for now. And here it is 1 lakh. So total turnover is 1,60,000. All of you agree with this? Okay. So total turnover 1,60,000 into 10% of that 18%. So 2,880. This is its obligation as a supplier. Next, very important, its obligation as a tax collector. Yes, TCS it has to collect 1%. So what was the turnover of vendor 1, that is Infocom Limited? 60,000 into 1%, 600 rupees. Vendor 2, 1 lakh into 1%, 1,000 rupees. Many students forget to calculate this. Very important, keep in mind. So 1,600 total. So now what is the total net liability of Start Cart? 5,400, 2,880, 600, 1,000. So total liability 9,880. Let us go back and check if this amount is there in the options. So here it is. So option D is the correct answer, 9,880. This is for the first question. Now what is the second question? Net tax liability after set off of credits. See here they are asking including amount payable as TCS. Yeah, this is both TCS plus its output tax liability. Okay, next what they are asking? After set off of credit of Infocom Limited and Secure World. So these two are the persons who are listed on Start Cart. They are listed on Start Cart. Okay, now see they have sold goods. Now based on that, let us analyze. There will be some ITC also. If someone is getting to know what I am telling, very good. Otherwise, no issues. Let us see. So now the place of the recipient, location of recipient, Rajasthan in both the cases, location of supplier, Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat. So in both cases it is interstate and IGST is payable. Infocom sold goods worth value of 60,000 and the second Secure World sold for 1 lakh into 18% into 18%. So 10,800, 18,000. The next part is what all the students miss and where they make mistake. ITC. Sir, but they gave ITC 0. They gave ITC opening balance is 0. But listing fee was charged by Start Cart. So on that listing fee, Start Cart would have paid and collected GST from these two people respectively. So they can take the ITC of this. So 60,000 into 10% into 18%, 1,080. 1 lakh into 10% into 18%, 1,800. So the net liability is 9720, 16,200. Many students will stop here again. They will forget the next part. This option also institute would have given in the MCQ. Let us check whether they have given this option in MCQ. 9720, 16,200. See, 9720, 16,200 institute has given. But this is not the correct answer. Let me tell you why. After set of net tax liability. Now let us come back to our analysis. You remember Start Cart has collected TCS from both these vendors. TCS, and if you recollect our discussion of TCS, we discussed that whatever TCS is collected and deposited, it will reflect in the electronic cash ledger of the respective suppliers. So they will have e-cash balance of 600 rupees and 1000 rupees. How 600 and 1000? 60,000 into 1% TCS, and here it is 1 lakh into 1% TCS. So 1000 rupees, 600 rupees. So additional cash that is required is 9120 and 15,200. So let us check whether this option is there. Here it is 1920 and 15,200. So the correct answer is C. Here it was D, here it is C. Okay, so next is a theory based question. Let us just check what they have given. It is assumed that Secure World's turnover does not exceed the threshold limit for obtaining registration under the applicable GST law. Okay, they say Secure World is not exceeding the threshold limit, and they are given us 4 options. Let us read all the 4 options. Secure World shall discharge tax only on sales made through Start Cart. Secure World is not required to obtain registration as threshold limit for obtaining registration is not crossed and no tax is payable. Start Cart shall be liable to discharge the tax liability on sales made by Secure World. Secure World is required to obtain registration and shall pay tax on all the taxable supplies made through Start Cart and on its own. So what do you think? All of you, what do you think? Okay, before answering, let us analyze something. You remember we studied one section 24. What is section 24? Compulsory registration. Two points are getting attracted here. In compulsory registration, do you remember one? If any person is selling goods through ECO, he is required to compulsorily obtain registration. ECO, which is covered under section 52, compulsory registration. Second, if you make interstate supply of goods. So 2 points are getting attracted here. So now based on these 2 points, Secure World is compulsorily required to obtain registration. So which option do you think will be correct? It should be option D. Is required to obtain registration and shall be liable to pay tax on supplies made through Start Cart and on its own. See, because once you become registered, you cannot differentiate between Start Cart and your supply. Once you are registered, you have to pay on all supplies. Yes, so all supplies. Next, let us go in the next question. This is an interesting question. Interesting. They are talking something about returns. Pulkit returns the printer from Infocom Limited. StartCart charges 20% of the printer from Pulkit and 10% of the printer as handling charges from Infocom Limited. What is the net tax liability? Okay. Let us go back to our notes, charts. Okay. See, first scenario. Let us go back to our first scenario. See, whatever we have discussed in the first scenario it will stay as it is, because irrespective of the returns they have to pay listing fee, and irrespective of the returns TCS will be collected. Okay, in case of first scenario it was 9,880. Now we have to make few adjustments to this. What are that adjustments? Let us discuss. See, now the printer was returned, the cost of the printer was 10,000. Let us check. Yes, printer 10,000. Let us come back to our discussion. Okay, so 20% from customer, 10%. So 20% from customer, 10,000 into 20%, 2,000 into 18%, and here it will be 1,000 into 18%. So this will be 360, this will be 180. So in 9,880 we add 360, we add 180. It doesn't end here. You remember our discussion on TCS? It is on net liability. So first it was on the net taxable value. I'm very sorry, net taxable value. So 60,000 minus the return of 10,000. So on this 10,000, 1% we have to make adjustment for this. Before we collected 600, now we have to make adjustment for this 10,000. That is, we have to reduce 100 rupees straight away. So now after this, what is our answer? 9,880 plus 360 plus 180 minus 100. So it is 10,320. Let us check 10,320. Fourth question, CL 10,320 IGST payable. C is the answer. Next, let us go to the last part, fifth part. StartCart provides free gift voucher worth rupees 2,000 to Pulkit, which can be redeemed against any purchase made in future. Okay, guys, you remember when we discussed this taxability of vouchers, we discussed one thing, that if supply is identifiable at the time of issue of voucher, then taxation will arise when we are issuing the voucher. But here we don't know, because we don't know what goods he will purchase in future. So as per the discussion what we have already had, this is a very debatable issue. We will go as per what ICAI is doing. ICAI says taxable supply of rupees 2,000 liable to GST in the month in which the voucher is redeemed. If you remember our discussion on vouchers, we discussed that if the supply is not identifiable at the time of issue of the voucher, then the point of taxation, yes, when will it arise? It will arise when the voucher is redeemed. So the answer will be fifth, B. Okay, all of you. So we will discuss the next MCQ in a later video. Thank you.